It was nice to be freer.
Okay, everyone, thank you.
80 minutes. That is all it lasted. Just 80 agonizing minutes for one of the most breathtaking, beautiful partnerships the WTA Tour has given us in years to live, breathe, and then completely vanish on a grass court in Germany. The dream team of Alex Eyala and Venus Williams is officially over. Gone in straight sets in the quarterfinals of the Bad Homburg Open. Honestly, I do not think most tennis fans fully grasp what we just watched end because this was never just a regular doubles match. This was a 21-year-old phenom standing across the net from her own future, right next to the legendary woman who quite literally built the road she is currently walking on. By the time this video ends, you are going to understand exactly why a quarterfinal loss that most casual fans scrolled right past might actually be one of the most quietly emotional, high-stakes moments of the entire grass court season. Let us set the scene because looking at the raw scoreboard alone will not tell you the real story. Eyala and Williams went down 6-3, 6-2 to the tournament's second seeds, Slovakia's Tereza Mihalikova and Great Britain's Olivia Nichols. We are talking about two players ranked number 29 in the world in doubles who needed exactly 1 hour and 20 minutes to shatter the fairy tale and send the dream team packing. The truly painful part is that it did not even start out badly. Eyala and Williams actually grabbed the early momentum, surging up 3-2 in that opening set, confidently holding serve and looking like they absolutely belonged together on that stage. The crowd was buzzing, the energy was electric, and then, without warning, the floor fell completely out. Mihalikova and Nichols flipped a switch and reeled off 6 straight games. 6 games in a row. Just like that, the first set evaporated and the dream team suddenly found themselves down 2-love in the second set. Let that sink in for a moment. Going from a promising 3-2 lead to staring down a total sweep in the absolute blink of an eye. What nobody else is talking about is that this heartbreaking loss was not about Eyala and Williams playing terribly. It was about the brutal, unglamorous truth of professional doubles tennis, where established chemistry beats pure star power every single time. Think about the team they were actually up against. Mihalikova and Nichols are not some random pairing thrown together at the last minute for a quick warm-up. These two have teamed up for 9 consecutive tournaments. Just weeks ago in June, they lifted the championship trophy at the prestigious Queen's Club Championships. That is a real, battle-tested partnership with hundreds of high-pressure repetitions together at the net. Across the court, you had 2 players who had known each other as teammates for roughly 24 hours. You simply cannot manufacture that kind of unshakable telepathy overnight, not even when one half of your team happens to be a 7-time Grand Slam singles champion. The hard statistics back this up in the most painful way possible. In that opening set, Eyala and Williams created 4 genuine breakpoint opportunities to completely swing the momentum of the match, but they converted exactly 1. Meanwhile, their seasoned opponents had 3 breakpoint chances and ruthlessly capitalized on all 3. Think about that massive execution gap. When the door cracked open, the dream team could not walk through it, but when the veterans got a tiny sniff of an opening, they kicked the door down immediately. That right there is the entire match summarized in 2 numbers. Yet, that is only where this story truly begins. To understand why this sudden exit hurts so much, you have to understand exactly who Alex Eyala is right now and the absolute tear she was on walking into this tournament. This is not some lucky wildcard insertion. Eyala is arguably the hottest young player on grass on the planet. Earlier this June, she captured the WTA 125 title in Birmingham. From there, she rolled directly into the Berlin Open and fought her way to the semifinals, marking her first ever WTA 500 semifinal appearance. Along that brilliant run, she was consistently knocking off top 10 talent, including a stunning victory over Alina Svitolina. She walked onto the courts at Bad Homburg, carrying an incredible 9-2 record on grass this season. The girl is operating like a world beater on the lawns right now, and she is only 21 years old. It gets even bigger because as a direct result of this historic stretch, Alex Eyala is about to walk into Wimbledon as the number 29 seed. I need you to comprehend the monumental weight of that achievement because it is far more than just a number next to her name. She will officially be the first Filipino player in tennis history to be seated at a Grand Slam tournament. The first ever. An entire nation that has never had a tennis megastar at this elite level is about to watch one of their own walk onto the most sacred grass in the sport as a seeded competitor with a coveted first-round bye. When asked about this milestone, Eyala beautifully stated that to be a seed in a slam, and Wimbledon in particular, really touches close to home. For an entire country, you simply cannot script a more powerful narrative. This is where the emotional gravity of the partnership truly hits you. To feel why this pairing meant so much, you have to look at the legendary figure Eyala chose to share that court with. Venus Williams is 46 years old, a former world #1 in both singles and doubles, a 5-time Wimbledon singles champion, and a woman possessing 22 doubles titles, 14 of which are Grand Slams. We are talking about a living, breathing monument of tennis history, someone who was actively capturing major world titles before Alex Eyala was even born. When Eyala was asked what it genuinely meant to team up with her, she bypassed the usual bland, media-trained responses. Instead, she eagerly expressed how incredibly excited she was, calling Venus a true trailblazer who continues to do so much for the sport. She noted that women's tennis has always been a trailblazer for women's sports, and Venus is a massive reason why. Read those words again. That is not just a standard teammate giving a post-match quote. That is a young woman speaking directly about her ultimate hero. Eyala grew up competing in a sports world that Venus Williams fundamentally helped build, a world where a young girl from the Philippines could realistically dream of being seated at Wimbledon. Then, she actually got to stand right next to that icon on the grass, in front of a packed stadium, as her trusted partner. Can you even begin to imagine the weight of that? Imagine being 21 years old and getting to play alongside the exact person who blasted the doors wide open for your career in the first place. That profound emotion is the beating heart of this entire story. You did not need a dramatic, tearful press conference to feel it because it was visibly woven into the fabric of the matchup itself. Let us be entirely honest for a second about how legendary the resume on the other side of that partnership truly is. Venus Williams is a name you never utter lightly. Beyond the 5 Wimbledon singles titles and 49 overall singles crowns across her career, her 14 Grand Slam doubles trophies mean she has won more major doubles titles than Alex Eyala has years on this planet. Eyala didn't just get to share a quiet locker room with that immense history. She got to call it her partner. Think about what that does to the psyche of a 21-year-old. Think about the mounting nerves, the profound honor, and the immense pressure of trying to perfectly hold up your end of the tennis court when the legend standing next to you has a trophy case older than you are. The part that makes the timing of this exit so incredibly cruel is that this magical partnership was always designed to be temporary. This was always destined to be a one-tournament fairy tale, a beautiful warm-up act before the chaos of Wimbledon, and now it is completely finished before it ever really got going. They did not lose because of some locker room falling out or petty interpersonal drama. There was zero controversy, no massive blow-up, and no scandalous story for the media to spin. They lost simply because that is the unforgiving nature of doubles tennis. Just as quickly as this dream partnership arrived, it vanished into thin air. What stings the most is that we were treated to a brief glimpse of exactly how spectacular it could have been. Remember, this pairing was not a disaster from the very beginning. In the round of 16, this duo looked absolutely electric. They came out firing, jumping to a dominant 4-love lead as their chemistry clicked almost immediately, ultimately closing out a clean 6-3, 6-4 victory with Venus herself serving out the final match. For one glorious night, the dream actually worked flawlessly. Then, a mere 24 hours later, it was all over. That is the true cruelty of sports. They showed us the magic, allowed us to believe in it for a single evening, and then pulled it away. It wasn't only the two of them who felt the immense gravity of the moment. Even their opponents knew exactly what kind of historical spotlight they were walking into. After officially sending the Dream Team home, Teresa Mihalikova did not celebrate aggressively or spike the football. She did the exact opposite, showing immense class by stating that playing against Venus at a major tournament is a once-in-a-lifetime experience that stays in your head whether you want it to or not, praising both of them for an incredibly tough match in difficult weather conditions. Let us zoom out completely, because this moment is about something far larger than one single quarterfinal match on German grass.